Hi guys, welcome to episode 19 of Mandy Pinecone Crafts. Today is Monday, July 25th, 2016. It's about 2:30 in the morning. I've got one of the lovely urges to stay up all night. So I decided instead of sitting here reading a book or crafting, I should actually record an episode for you guys. I will apologize if you guys can hear the snoring in the background. My husband is sound asleep, so hopefully the mic doesn't pick it up, but if it does, I'm sorry about it. This is going to be a really weird episode. It's going to be really stash heavy. I have only worked on 3 different projects. So let's start with the knitting project first. The only thing I've worked on for knitting in the last 3 weeks, I think, is my Electric Gypsy by Raza Knits, I think. It is a cute top. So I've got I've got the top done. Both of the straps are done. I knit this down, and then this you have to pick up for the skirt. I've got the skirt done. The yarn this is Mad Color in the Sweet Transvestite. You've got the blue, which is Blue Topaz from Knit Pick Stroll, and then the pink is Texas dyed Bad Ballerina. That I got a partial scan from my friend Jeanette, the Book of Stitcher. If you haven't watched her podcast, you really should. She is wonderful. She reviews a book every week. So if you love to read, she does give some really good book recommendations. And that is living in a Tangled Skein CA bag, my sweater one. So yeah, this was the first week and a half of the last 3 weeks that I worked on. I just wanted to knit on this. I didn't want to knit on anything else. And then, which day was it? The Sunday the 10th, my friend Michael and I drove down to Rutland, Vermont, to meet up with our friend Jen of the Uncreative Crafter podcast. You should watch that one also. She's originally from Rutland, and so instead of driving to New Hampshire to see her, we decided to meet in Rutland so we could go to the local yarn shop down there, which was part of the Northern Yarn Hall. Great Northern Yarn Hall. Yes, Great Northern Yarn Hall, which ran the 8th through 17th, so 2 weeks. That was the only yarn shop that I actually made it to in that time. I could have hit 2 other ones, but I just didn't have time. I didn't feel like going yarn shopping other than that. So she taught when we were at Vermont Sheeping Mall. She talked me into buying some fiber and a spindle to learn how to spin, and I tried it. Wasn't in love with it with the fiber because I bought fiber at a local yarn shop here. I wasn't in love with the spindle, wasn't in love with the fiber, so I played with it but wasn't that great on it. So I took some of the fiber I had and the spindle to Rutland with me, so Jen showed me how to spin. So I've picked up spinning. Where did I put it? So what I started with was some Polworth that's dyed by Fiber Stash on my spindle. Spun this I picked up 4 ounces at the Green Mountain yarn shop, or I've got the name of it in the bag with everything sitting here on the floor. I'll go through that in a second. Spun this up. Green is not something I enjoy. I'm not a big green person. My husband is, I'm not, hence the lovely green couch here. But so I was just playing around with this, so I just put it on a straw because I had no toilet paper tubes, and then I'm going to spin up some more of the green at some point, and apply it together so I can just get some really lumpy, bumpy yarn to play with. So there's that. And then when I got sick of the green, I picked up a bat. This is the spindle that I spun it on. It's just a toy wheel on more or less a dowel with a. It's simple. I like this spindle. It's nice and easy for me to use. This I'm spinning is Contented Butterfly that I picked up at Vermont Sheep and Wool. It is 60% wool, 30% mohair, 10% silk, I think. I don't have the lovely label right here. It's this lovely hot pink. I've probably spun, it was a 1 ounce bat, I probably spun half of it, if that. A little less than half. I'm having fun. Contented Butterfly is out of Windsor, Vermont, so it's nice to actually spin out some local fiber. So while we're in Rutland, we hit a couple bookstores. I picked up a couple, let's start with this. I picked up a couple things. I picked up 2 books to send to my friend Brandy for her children. One is by a local author here, Woody Johnson. I've actually got 3 or 4 light switch covers of his cows and other things around my house. So I really enjoy his artwork, and this is Counting Cows. My favorite one in this is, where is it? Picture. 300. Is this picture here? It's 4 Cautious Cows. So it's a cute book. It's a local artist, so I picked up that, and then I picked up The Mitten. I loved this book as a child. I'd read it over and over, and it always amazed me how the mitten would stretch to fit all the animals. So there was that. That was the first store we hit. And then we hit Phoenix Books, which is a local bookstore, and I found this lovely bag to send to my friend Sarah, the Canadian knitter. Bookstores, cats, life is sweet. And then on the back side, it's got little cats as literary figures, which I thought was it's cute. It's very much Sarah. So I picked up that. From there, we went to Joann's. Yes, Joann's. And I picked up some coffee fabric, which is in the other room now that I think of it. And then I found some fleece that I had to have. They were having like 50% off their fleece, and then they had a 60% off fleece coupon. So I got 2 yards of fleece that has sushi all over it. So I ended up making PJ bottoms out of it for me. They fit really well. Next time I do it, I do have to go up a size just so they're not as tight through the thighs as this pair is. But it was a simple pattern that I picked up at the Joann's here. And I also got embossing folders because I've got, every so often I decide to do cards when I send packages, so these are like folders. They were on sale for like $2. So I've got those. That was Michael's. And then I picked up a jelly roll of this damask colored fabric to do a bag out of for me. I wanted a scrap bag, rainbow bags. I don't have a rainbow bag for some reason. So there was that. And then we ended up at Michael's. Actually, no, we went to Staples next. So Staples, I picked up just some random paper for my notebook that I keep my crafting stuff in, and then I found this lovely lock box. It's metal and it has cupcakes all over it. Right now I'm using it to hold my cross stitch stuff in it, and I've got my needle minders actually on it. So there was that. I'm going to take a sip. My cup is Cinderella, and it says it's hard to wake up when you've been out past midnight. I had a friend go to Disney, and I sent him on a mission to find me this cup because I've got 2 of the 4 from this series that Disney has. I've got the Snow White and the Belle, so I needed Cinderella and Ariel. So he picked me up Cinderella, and then I'm going to see if another friend of mine will pick me up Ariel. So I have all 4 because I like my princesses, and I love the sayings because I'm not a morning person. I hate being up if I don't have to with the alarm clock. So there's the cup. It's got Queen of Tarts by David's Tea. I went there and they're having their 40% off summer sale. So I picked up a bunch of teas for that. That one wasn't on sale, but I had they do, if you collect, I think 100 points, you get 2 free ounces. So I picked up 2 free ounces of that one because that's one of my favorites. So where was I? Oh, after Staples, we ended up at Michael's. I ended up picking up this Dimensions kit that says happy ever after, with the word love behind it. We've got a good friend that is getting married next September, that his wedding colors are cream and that blush. So I'm going to stitch that up for him. And then I picked up a couple Progress Keepers. The first one has an M in pink. I could have picked up the A, but the A was in blue, so I didn't want the A. So I went with the M because it fits for Mandy and my last name. They had this cute coffee cup, which reminds me of a Starbucks cup, so I had to have that. And then I picked up two of these like lovely sparkly stones. This one I made into a progress keeper, and the other one I haven't done yet. I have no clue where I put it, but I'm going to make it into a progress keeper and put it in a care package for somebody. Okay, and then we ended up at, where does it say it on it? The Green Mountain Fibers is where we ended up sitting. They were having their knit group, so we ended up sitting for probably 2 hours knitting and spinning, because Jen had her spinning, and then I brought my spindle with me to spin with. So I picked up the roving. I picked up because the stuff I had was just too slippery and too fine for me to spin with. Was this is half the braid. I rebraided it so I can share it, and it is Fiber Stash. Polworth roving. So I picked up that so I could have something a little bit easier to spin with. So I'm spun up, yeah, probably half of it. And then I've got these pieces that I'll spin up once I get done my pink bat and ply that. And then my spinning has been living in another Tangled Skein CA bag that I found fabric here that has Disney princesses in pink, but the inside of it is a satin lining. So I'm really liking that for my fiber because it's not sticking to the satin. So that's what I've been using for my spinning bag. And then I also picked up this lovely Ella Rae Lace Merino DK. It is in the pink yellow, 205 pink yellow. It's 100% wool. Oh, it's showing up red. This is hot pink, and it goes into this lovely yellow. I walked into the room where they had the big table set up for people to knit, and this caught my eye. So it had to come home with me. So if you'd spent $20 at your first yarn shop, you got a free tote bag. The tote bag had a couple coupons for different local shops down there, and it was for the Great Northern Yarn Haul. So I got the tote bag. I also picked up, this is a zipper pull, that is a pink puzzle piece. And then also in the bag there was a mini and then a little wooden sock blocker keychain. And then the pattern to knit a sock for said sock blocker. At some point I'll probably take a Precious to, actually I know what I'm gonna use to knit the sock blocker for this. I will show you in a second. But this will end up on my knitting bag, and the mini will go into my sock blanket. So that was the 10th that I did that. So I ended up working a couple of days, and then I had a friend from work hand me a wedding invitation for their wedding come the end of September. While thinking of wedding gifts, I'd had been bouncing around the idea of cross-stitching a wedding sampler for my cousin who got married last month. She did a quick wedding because her husband is in the Marines and had to go and stationed in Japan right now. So they had a quick wedding before he left. She's gonna go, I think, she's gonna go over in December and visit, things like that. So I wanted to do something for them. So I was looking on Etsy for patterns, and I had favorited a shop called Donastitch. They had some really cute wedding samplers. I ended up picking up 6 of them, and then starting one right now. So the one I'm knitting, this is the one I'm knitting cross-stitching up right now. It's the Rosebirds, but I've changed the colors in, actually I think all but 2 colors in this I've changed up. I've got technically 6 of the 9 pages, but the bottom 3 had probably 4 rows. So I'm saying 3 of these 6 pages stitched up, and I started I think on the 13th with this. So I've got a good portion of it stitched up. My needle minders are, I think, all but one from Minding My Minders on or on Facebook. This one I found on Etsy. I don't know where I picked it up. But it's been a fun stitch. This is what's been holding my attention for the last week and a half. This is the only thing I've picked up knitting twice. Yeah. Twice. This past weekend we had a friend visiting, so sitting around with her outside, I had knitting going. I had a dentist appointment, the knitting went. So there was that one. Well, looking for that wedding sampler, she has with her Lovebird series, if you buy 2 you get 1 free. So since I knew I had another wedding coming up, I purchased another one. Which one was it? That's the second set. So I purchased this one, which is the Tree Birds, which is pinks and teals. And then for free I got this one. This is the one I'm actually going to stitch up for the friend that's wedding is in September once I finish the one I'm working on right now. Well, the same day, another friend of that I used to work with that moved down by actually Rutland had texted me asking for my address because she's getting married the beginning of October. So since I was looking, I'd already bought the 3 wedding samplers. I'm going to stitch up this one for her, but I'm going to switch out the colors in this one. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do a brown for the branch, because this bird is going oranges and yellows, while this one is going the reds that I'm using over here. These here, the reds here, because her wedding colors are more fall. While this one is staying the same because her wedding colors are the purples. And then, crazy me, after I started stitching up that and really enjoying it, I decided I wanted to do one for myself. My 10th anniversary is in October. I wanted to do something fun for for that, so I picked up this one for me. I'm actually going to stitch it. I've got a week and a half off from work for my anniversary, so I'm going to stitch this while I'm off, is right now the plan. So there's that. And then, since I was stitching one for me and my cousin that just got married, there's, out of the 8 girls, yes, 8 girls on my mother's side, 3 of us are married. So it's like I'm doing one for myself, one for the cousin that just got married. So I'd reached out with 2 different patterns to my other cousin that's married, and she really likes this pattern. So I'm going to do this one in the purples from this one. Look, actually, the colors from this and this pattern. Some point this fall for her. Well, and then I was looking for the colors to do the oranges in for my friend Shelby. So I came across this pattern. Since I was already buying patterns, I decided that I like the colors of this. This one fits a couple other people I know. So it's a good pattern to have around, even if I'm not going to stitch it anytime soon. So I just wanted to know what colors these were, so I bought the pattern, and then for free with those 2, I ended up picking up this one because I just like the simplicity of it. They're all just simple. They're lovebirds. They all just have a simple pattern, and then the 2 for my friends, I'm actually doing their names and dates, but the ones for me and my cousins, I'm just putting our wedding date on them, because I had asked them what they wanted, if they wanted the name, the date, but it's just, this one I'm just doing the date on. And then there's that. Oh, the other stash that I ended up getting, I had placed a custom order for my friend Michael's birthday at the end of next month, with my friend Dawn of Cupcake Yarns. She'd already had asked her to dye me up another skein of Snow White a couple months ago. I just told her to hold off until I needed something else to save her the shipping, or me the shipping for it, because it was supposed to have been a birthday gift, but she was out of the base, and then by the time she got the base in, there were some other issues going on with her, so I just told her just to wait and dye it whenever she could. And it didn't have to be right away. Well, so I've got my skein of Snow White. It's much different than the first skein I got. I actually like this one better. The black doesn't, it's got a little more of the white in it, but I really like this. This is going to be, I haven't quite decided. This is on her sprinkles base. It's 75% superwash, 20% nylon, 20% or 5% stellina, 420 yards, and it's right set up. Cupcake Yarns on Etsy, and that's Snow White. Well, Michael has been saying for months and months and months he needed somebody to dye him up a skein of Gay Man Glitter Poop. It started when Jen, Andrea, and then I think Brandy, Jen of the Uncredited Crafter, Andrea of the Cat Lady Podcast, CATT, Craft All the Things, and Brandy of the After Hours Knitting Group. Yeah, After Hours Knitting Group. Had done it in January or February. A hitchhiker along with Love Knot's unicorn poop. He said he wanted a skein of, somebody to dye him up a skein of Gay Man glitter poop. Well, I had asked Don to do it for me so I could give it to him as a gift. He doesn't watch the podcast, hopefully. So let's keep this a secret. So it's on her sprinkles base again. So I just told her I needed something that looked like a rainbow threw up. And this lighting is horrible. You're not going to get a good picture. But this is the lovely, oh, it's actually almost showing up, right? It came undone. Screw. It's this lovely glitter. It looks, it looks like a snow cone melted is what it looks like. But I love how it turned out. It's got really nice deep colors. And I know he's gonna like it. I'll fix the skin of it later. But it's got like the whole rainbow array. Oh, you can see the glitter. So it is one of a kind. Gay Man glitter poop. So he'll have that for his birthday. So there's that, and the last bit of stash I have is a wonderful package from Brandy. She's doing, instead of doing like Christmas packages, she's picking one name a month from our little group that chats daily. We're all podcasters, or we're all podcasters, so we talk daily on a daily basis about everything and everything. So for the month of June, it was my turn. So I've got a lovely package for her. She sent some yummy caramel tea, which is salted caramel. I've got 2 of those. There is a caramel vanilla cup of cake teas from Tea Republic Tea. There is an apple cinnamon, I think is what she said this one was. I've got a chocolate something from Harley's Sons. There's 2 in there. And then I've got some orange saffron Tezo from her. She sent me some hand spun. This is what I'm going to actually knit the sock for my little sock blocker, and then just put a little piece of it in my sock blanket. This is the, it's Fiber Stash. I think it's merino nylon. It's a mini of whatever she had left over on the wheel from when she made her daughter's birthday socks. Her daughter had drew me a lovely picture, which will actually go on my craft room wall. She'd sent me this lovely Snow White print because I love Snow White, and it's actually printed on it's printed on a dictionary page that runs from lacquer to lady. So I really like this. This is definitely going to go on my craft room wall. That's actually one of my favorite pictures from Snow White, is her with the animals. She sent me some fiber to try. Well, Saturday night on the VKN, which is a virtual knit night, with the girls. I wanted something other than the green to spin. So I had the little pieces of brandy fiber to play with. So I spun those up. There's 5 different, just little bumps, like tiny little pieces. I have no clue what they are, but they were all pinks. So I spun those up. This is the first spindle I bought. It's an Ashford. It's really lightweight, and I'm not loving it. So these I'll probably ply with a neutral. I'll see if I can find some some bare fiber, and just spin this up with it. Ply it with that. Well, because my package was so late mailing, she went and got me a t-shirt. Well, my t-shirt is it's Snow White again, and it says the fairest of them all. It fits really well. I like the look of Snow White here. And it's got the castle and all that. So that's where I like that. But the piece de resistance of it was, I don't know how the context, we were looking at Etsy. And then I made a comment that I'm really loving the combination of pink and grays. Well, she had some pink and gray fiber sitting on her desk, so she spun me some hand spun. It's Polworth, and I think it's 287 meters, so it's about a sport weight. But I'm thinking, I've got hand spun from my friend Jen, the Uncreative Crafter, and I'm thinking that's reddish pinkish. It's Corriedale, I think. I have no problem with this here. I'm thinking of mixing the two into a cowl or a hat or something, so I can have hand spun from my friends as that. And I really love whatever to use to wash this, because it smells amazing. Well, I have one more thing. I was watching After Hours Knitting Group this afternoon. They record live on Saturdays usually, and I try to catch them if I can. It all depends on my work schedule, because I'd rather watch them live than recorded, but I couldn't this week, so I was watching it earlier tonight, last night, whatever you want to call it. And one of the questions they were asked was, what were your favorite stitch markers? Well, I thought I would show you guys what my favorite stitch markers were. I keep my stitch markers in this David's Tea. It's their advent calendar from last year. They're in by sets. They each have the small little containers, and depending on what set they go with, each container has different sets. Because I try to match my stitch markers to the project I'm working on. Because the stitch markers, the bag, and the project have to go together in my head. Well, my favorite Progress Keeper is from Brandy. It's a little squeaky of Snow White. For the longest time, I had this hanging off of my wallet, and then I figured out that if I pull up, it kept on coming off, because it's a rubbery substance. The post that's in it kept on pulling through, and I'd lose Snow White. So she had to come off my wallet, and she'll end up as a Progress Keeper on whatever I start next. And then my favorite stitch marker is a Vintage Rose. It is a old-fashioned percolator with a coffee cup dangling from it because I love my coffee. I am a coffee fanatic. I probably have two or three cups. My first cup is usually handed to me in bed by my husband because I'm spoiled. There's no other way to say it. I've got him trained that coffee is supposed to be made and delivered in bed. But, so there's that. What else was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't know what I'm rambling at this point. So everybody have a good 2 weeks. I'm going to try to get back to my normal, or try to get onto a 2-week schedule. So hopefully I can get back to it, but we'll see. I know the next couple of months are somewhat busy. We're going to Boston to visit friends. We've got my father's coming up in September. We've got our anniversary in October, and then you get into the holidays and all that stuff. So depending on what the schedule is like and what I've actually worked on, if I've actually got progress on anything, I'll try to do every 2 weeks. But have a good night. Bye.